kitchen today, and I'll be baking pineapple upside down cake. And I love this cake. It's really easy to make, and once it's out of the oven, you're done. You don't have to frost it, which I love. And it's a really beautiful cake. If you need to take a dessert somewhere, it's perfect, or it's easy enough just to make for every day. So let's get started. I'll show you how to make it. You'll need flour, baking powder, and salt. You'll also need granulated sugar and brown sugar, eggs, butter, I'm using unsalted butter, oil, vanilla milk, a 20-ounce can of sliced pineapple, or you can use fresh pineapple, and whole pecans. In a 9x9 square baking dish. Of course, you can use other types of baking dishes. It's really popular to use a round 9-inch cake pan as well. I like this one because it's a little bit deeper. It is a dark pan, so my cake will cook more quickly than if I was using a lighter colored pan. So a 1/4 cup of butter in the pan. And I'll melt that butter in the oven at 350 for just a few minutes. I have my 20-ounce can of pineapple, and I will reserve some of the liquid here. I need about a 1/4 cup for my recipe, so there's plenty. And then I'll drain the rest. And just let that sit until my butter is all melted. My butter is all melted. I'll add a 1/2 cup of brown sugar. And when you measure out your brown sugar, you just want to make sure that you really pack it in your measuring cup. So I just kind of use the bag and then just sprinkle it all over the butter, and I'm going to kind of try to dump it into my hand. There we go. And I'll just sprinkle it all over the butter. And then I'll just take my fork and press that sugar into the butter. Okay, now you simply take your rings of pineapple and place them on top of your brown sugar. And with this pan, I can squeeze in 9 rings. Now I'll put my pecans. A lot of people like to use maraschino cherries, but I really like pecans in this, so I just arrange them. Usually put one in the center of each pineapple. And actually, I should be turning them upside down so they're prettier when I flip the cake later. So I'll just flip those around. And then I'll add some more in these little areas here in between my pineapples. And I'll set that aside and make the cake batter. Start off with 1.5 cups of flour. I'm using all-purpose flour in a medium-sized bowl. And there's 1.5. 1/4 teaspoon of salt. If you're using salted butter, go ahead and skip the salt. And 2 teaspoons of baking powder. Whisk that together. And then go ahead and set that aside. In my stand mixer, I'll put in a 1/4 cup of butter, and this butter is pretty soft. And to that, I'll add 3/4 cup of sugar. There's a 1/4. And then 1/2. And you just want to scrape down the sides a couple of times. And you want to combine this for about 3 minutes. And add 2 eggs, one at a time. Just add one, combine, and then add your next one. and 1 teaspoon of vanilla, and 1/4 cup of oil. And I just like to use my rubber spatula to get any remaining oil out of there. And go ahead and give that another medium speed. I have a 1/4 cup of milk. To that, I'll add my pineapple juice to bring it up to a 1/2 cup. And what I'll do is I have my flour mixture here from earlier, and so I'll just add in about 1/3 of it. I think I added about 1/2 actually. I'll combine that on low. Again, I'll scrape the sides of my bowl down. Now I'll add 1/2 of my milk juice. I'll keep combining it on low. I'll add the rest of my flour mixture. And again on low. And once again, I'll scrape down the sides. And I'll add the rest of my milk and pineapple juice. And just give it one last combine on low. Okay, that looks nice and combined. It's a pretty thick batter. And I'll just wipe down these sides again. Make sure I don't have any flour or anything on the bottom. And now I'm ready to pour it over the top of my pineapples. Pour it into my pan. And you just want to use your spatula and try to get all of your batter out of there. Just smooth it out and try to get it as even as you can over the top. And it's all ready for the oven. Before flipping, make sure you run a knife around all 4 sides of the baking pan. And I've let it cool for about 10 minutes. Now I'll remove my cake pan. And I'll let that cool for about 1/2 hour before I cut it. And I'll cut right along the pineapples. See if that'll come out. And you have to have ice cream with cake in our house. There you have it, a delicious pineapple upside down cake, a beautiful dessert for any occasion. And I have to admit, I like to eat this for breakfast in the morning, and I warm it up in the microwave for just about 15 seconds and have it with my tea, and it's divine. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.